The Cadejo, Spanish pronunciation, Caexo, is a supernatural spirit that appears as a dog-shaped creature with blue eyes when it's calm and red eyes when it's attacking. It roams isolated roads at night, according to Central American folklore of indigenous origin. There is a good white Cadejo and an evil black Cadejo. Both are spirits that appear at night to travelers. The white Cadejo protects them from harm and danger during their journey, while the black Cadejo, sometimes an incarnation of the devil, tries to kill them. They usually appear in the form of a large, up to the size of a cow, shaggy dog with burning red eyes and goat's hooves, although in some areas they have more bull-like characteristics. According to the stories, many have tried to kill the black Cadejo but have failed and perished. It is also said that if a Cadejo is killed, it will smell terrible for several days, and then its body will disappear. Some Guatemalan and Salvadoran folklore also tells of a Cadejo that protects drunks against anyone who tries to rob or hurt them. When the Cadejo is near, it is said to bring a strong goat-like smell. Turning one's back on the Cadejo or speaking to it are said to induce insanity. In popular etymology, the name Cadejo is thought to have derived from the Spanish word cadena, meaning chain. The Cadejo is at times represented as dragging a chain behind him. There is a fairly large member of the weasel family, the tara, which in common speech is called a Cadejo and is cited as a possible source of the legend. In Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua the dog-like creature is known as El Cadejo. It is said to look like a dog but is not a dog, has deer-like hooves and also moves like a deer, rather than a dog. The white Cadejos are benevolent and eat bell-like flowers that only grow on volcanoes. The white Cadejo protects people, including drunks, vagabonds, and people with grudges from all evil footsteps, even Las Iguanaba, and bad choices, which are sometimes caused by the evil black Cadejo. The black Cadejo is malevolent and lures people to make bad choices. The black Cadejo has glowing purple eyes and eats newborn babies. Sometimes the black Cadejo is said to be the devil himself. The black Cadejo is said to be able to stand on 2 feet like a man and swiftly throw punches at its victims. The book Los Perros Mágicos de los Volcanes, Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes, by Manlio Argueta, describes the Cadejos as mythical dog-like creatures that figure prominently in the folklore of El Salvador. They mysteriously appear at night and lovingly protect the villagers who live on the slopes of the volcanoes from danger. In Guatemala and El Salvador, the legend of El Cadejo revolves around Las Iguanaba and El Cipatillo legends. The evil Cadejo ranges in size, according to different tales in various regions. It lurks in graveyards and dark alleys, waiting to attack a passing victim. It has a distinctive smell of concentrated urine and burning sulfur. It rattles with a jerking motion, contracting its pharynx. Its gaze freezes anyone who makes eye contact. Its skin and short hair, similar to those of a pig, glitter in the pitch dark. There are 3 types of black Cadejos. The first is the devil himself in the form of a large, wounded dog with hoofed feet that are bound with red-hot chains. It is said that not even the white Cadejo is able to completely stop him. Unlike the regular black Cadejo, it is not likely to pursue and attack a passing person, as it is a scout, the eyes of evil. Instead, anyone who spots him will have a sad event. In the short story Leyenda del Cadejo, Legend of the Cadejo, by Nobel Prize laureate Miguel Angel Asturias, this variety of Cadejo terrorizes a young abbess and robs her of her braid. The second type of Cadejo is a mysterious evil dog. It kills and savagely tears through its victim. First, it demoralizes him with a series of sounds and other signs that it is nearby. Then, after the victim is scared, it leaps and will kill him if the white Cadejo is not near. The third and least powerful type of black Cadejo is the offspring of a normal dog and the regular Cadejo. It is a mortal hybrid and can, with difficulty, be killed by a strong man, bearing in mind that most men in those regions only carry a machete for protection. Once dead, it will completely rot in a matter of seconds, leaving behind a stain of evil, on which grass and moss will never grow again. This Cadejo will never bite its victim. Instead, he kicks and pecks them with his snout. After this happens, people say lo yugo el Cadejo, which means she was handled by the Cadejo. The victim goes mad. This term is sometimes applied to people that are born with a mental illness. A fairly popular version of the legend in El Salvador talks about two brothers who walk into the house of a black magician. During a storm, he asks the boys to help him with some logs for a fire. Both boys slack on the job but eat the man's food. Once he finds out the little bit of food he had is missing and that there is not enough wood for his fire, he puts a curse on the road that leads to the boys' village. Voices bother the boys, and when they turn their backs on the voices they get turned into creatures, a white Cadejo and a black one. After going back to their village in their cursed form they get kicked out and have no choice but to wander. In the early 1900s, Juan Carlos was a guardian who lived in a thatched house near Los Arcos, in the country fields near La Aurora in Guatemala. He worked near Parroquia Vieja and arrived at his house at midnight. His wife and small children almost always spent the whole day alone, in the middle of the fields. Juan found a white dog when he arrived home one day. When the dog saw him coming, it shook, turned, and disappeared. Juan always tried to follow the dog, but he could never reach him. One day, when he arrived, the white dog did not move, and when he approached the dog, it did not make a single sound. But then Juan touched his paw, and all of a sudden it opened its eyes. Juan was scared. The dog said, "You do not need my help anymore." Frightened, Juan exclaimed, "What help?" And the dog said, in pain, "I am a dog sent from above. My mission was to protect you from any danger. But you have showed me you do not need my help anymore." Right after that, the white dog died. Juan buried him, and every time he came home, he remembered the white dog. El Cadejo originated in El Salvador. Legend says that a witch granted a gift of protection and power to only one family name. The family name is unknown, but most villagers assume a certain family has it, even now in 2021. El Cadejo attaches itself to people, especially children, who go through traumatic experiences. We spoke to the family. We believe El Cadejo lives in, and they didn't want to disclose the host's name. But she is a female. Currently 19 years of age, married, and has a child. Her family disclosed some of her past and she's definitely a candidate according to the legends. We learned about the previous host. His name was not given, but it was her father who died back in April 2011. El Cadejo is known to have a good and dark side. Seems like the dark Cadejo took charge for years until about 2 years ago when her life changed and she became a better person. Games and Popular Superstitions of Nicaragua, E.A.P. de Guerrero, p. 38, in the Journal of American Folklore, Volume 4, Parts 1–2, 1891.